students. In this exercise, we're going to be working on D1 and D2, possibly D3. Um, Chapter 10, page 307. And the first thing I want to do is if your screen opens up and it's a little bit zoomed out, you can come down in this corner right here. Right now it's at 150% view, and I want to bring it down to 100. Okay, so in this chapter we're going to be working with budgets, and so there's two kinds of budgets. There's a cash budget and then a purchase budget, and you can do the reading on 303 about the two. And we're going to talk about worksheet views and some of these other things that we would like to know about Excel. That'll be very, very helpful when you're working. Okay, so I've done step number 1 where I've opened up the file on chapter 10, and I am going to click on cash budget down here on the tab, and then in cell J6 over here I'm going to type 23,000, and that's the cash balance at the beginning of the year and the starting point for the cash balance. Okay, and then in the following in order, J8 through J13, so which will be from here down, we're going to put in 22, 1, 2, 3, 34,000, 18,000, 42,000, and our interest received is 1,200. That amount shouldn't be very big, and we had no sales of fixed assets, so that'll be a 0. Okay, these are the projected itemized cash receipts for the first quarter. They're based on an analysis of previous periods and a review of expected economic conditions for the first quarter. All remaining projections have been determined in a similar manner. So these are numbers that are just given to us. Now, it says in J14, right here, we are going to equal sum open parentheses J8 colon J13 close paren. Okay, so that adds up all of these numbers here. And then in J16, we're going to equals J6 plus J14. So it's going to add this beginning balance with all the cash receipts from up above here. And so this is going to be our cash balance at the end of the quarter. Now enter the following in order in range J18 to J21. Let's scoot this up a little bit. J18 to J21. 103, 1, 2, 3, 846, 00, 132, 00, 18, okay, now in cell J22 we're going to say equals sum open parentheses J18 2 colon with a colon, that means 2 to me, J21 close paren, and we have 202. And now in J24 we're going to say equals J16. I can click up here minus J22, enter, and this indicates that the projected ending balance for the first quarter is $37,600. This amount, which is calculated as total cash available minus total cash disbursements, will be carried over as the projected beginning cash balance for the second quarter. Okay, so this is going to come over, copy it. Let's see, let me follow the directions. In J and H6 up here, we're going to say equals J24. So this balance is going up here. If I would have copied this, I would have needed to copy the formula equals, so that, remember that. Now we're going to do the same thing in these cells as what we did in the other ones. And the amounts are 145, 3. I'm on step 8, everyone. $12.40 and no assets. Okay, copy cell J14. J14 here, Control C for copy to H14, and remember we want to paste our formulas, so I'm going to paste special because that's where I can get this one, and I got the formatting. And then I'm going to also copy this to this one and paste that. And there's no balance there, right? Because there's no numbers up here. Copy cell J16, copy, and we're going to paste these here. And now we'll get a number in this one because there's some values there. Okay, instead of going this direction, I went this direction. That's all I did different in number 10. Number 11, step number 11, enter the following in order and range H18 to 21. These numbers right here. We're going to do 119, 123, 103, 200, 132, and 1800. Okay. And did I miss something? I did. So watch this here. Cut, paste. Let me double check my figures on this one. Okay, I'm on step number 12. Copy range J22 to J24. Okay, we're going to copy that. Okay, Control C. And again, I'm going to start over this way and do it in this direction. Remember, when I copied this, I have it in my clipboard, so I don't need to keep copy, paste, because it's already in the clipboard. Now, the ending cash balance for the second quarter is $38,640. Oh, we need to I was supposed to copy these two and I didn't. Remember, you can also paste it up here with this one right here. Okay, and my value 38,640 is correct. Okay, now step 13, copy cell H6, this copy here, equals, copy, paste, and on this one we should get some zeros here. Let's see if this changes. H24. Okay, once we fill in these amounts up here, these things are going to change in here. Okay, so now if we turn over to the next page, we have a bunch of values that we're going to be typing in. So in store, we start right here, 107 200 29.3 7700 32600 32600 1130 and 0, and then we're going to come down here and we have 94.8 94.8 and 6090 and loan payments principal 113,200 and 118. Okay, and let's do the third quarter numbers. $62, $21.8, $28, $11, $1110, good, and 34. Okay, and then we jump down here, 202,900, 117,600, 13,2, 1,800. Okay, now see how this number got carried up to this number here correctly? Okay, so the cash balance ending for the fourth quarter is 11,180, and that's the number I have, so that is all good. Now at this point, when I'm working on things and I've done this much work, I'm going to go ahead and do a save as at this point because I don't want to lose any of that stuff that I have in there right now. Okay, so when I'm working on a document in real practicality, I save several times during the work session just so that I don't have to ever redo the work. Now, in this section we're going to talk about freezing panes and rows and columns. And because this is not a big chart, let's see if I'm supposed to go to a it doesn't really, it isn't very effective on here, and so I'm going to I want to open up this other file that I have. This is a big file. I'm going to show you this feature before we do it with the thing. So see this feature now. What does this heading mean? What does this heading mean? If you don't know what any of these columns mean, you know that this probably is last name. So we're going to freeze panes. So what you do is you come up to the intersection where you want the headings to show and the names. So right in here, and we just are going to go to View, over here to Window, Freeze Panes, and I'm going to freeze my panes. And now watch, see how my heading stays there, and I can scroll down through my items. And then if I go this way, see how the names will stay stationary. So the other little document that we're looking at doesn't have this big of a worksheet, and so the freeze panes doesn't demonstrate very well on that, but you can see here how handy that is. We can also do, let me come up here and to unfreeze the panes, you go back in here, go to view, freeze panes, unfreeze panes. Now another feature, we have freeze top row. So the top row is frozen, but see the names are going along there, but when I go this way the names are lost. They don't stay stationary there. So let's go back up to the top, and now let's unfreeze this, and instead let's freeze the first column. Okay, so now when I scroll down, the heading goes away, the row up here goes away, but watch how the column will stay in place. So that's why when you're here, you normally just do freeze panes and do both of them, and then they're going to work for the heading, and they're also going to work for the first column. And if I wanted to, I could select more than one. If I wanted to, I could make this here, I could take more columns and more rows to freeze. So let's say I want to freeze, if I'm right here, I'm going to freeze these two with it, and if I'm right here, I'll freeze these two with it. So let's just do that real quick. Let me do an unfreeze, and then I'll come over here and I'm going to just click anywhere here, and then you can see now what's going to be frozen. See, all of those numbers are frozen, and over here all of those are frozen. So my intersection, if you can see, there's a very light line. The intersection is right here for freezing. So this, all this above and all this on this side, this line is frozen. Okay, so now we're going to actually do that to our workbook. Cash budget. So this, as you can see, we don't have much showing in here at all. So it wants us to scroll so that rows 1 to 5, 1 to 5, and columns A and B. So that means right here in cell C6. This is where we're going to make the intersection and freeze the panes. So view, freeze panes, freeze panes. Now scroll down. See how that's frozen? And then if I scroll over this way, it freezes that way. Okay. So I'm on step number 17. So you're just going to be trying these things and seeing how they work. And now what it wants me to do is freeze the top pane. So I'm going to come back over here to C6. So C6. And we're going to freeze the top row. And then you can see that it comes, just the very top row is being frozen. And so then it wants us to unfreeze the panes. Okay, so that's all you do on that from step 15 to 19 is work with the freeze panes. And if you would really like to try doing the bigger one, I will when I post the videos, I will post that practice document that's really big, and then you can try on that too. Now the same thing, I'm going to go over to that bigger document, and let's unfreeze the panes here. Okay, so now we're just making, yeah, we're okay, and I'm gonna split the screens and show you how this one works, and then I'll show you on the other one, on the actual one we're working on. So select you select where you want it to split. So let's say that we want it to split in June. Let's see, the first 6 months are June, so usually maybe say we wanted to end this at July 31st. Sometimes the year will end on July 31st. Sometimes the year will end on June 4th. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to go View and Window and Split Screen. It doesn't really say split screen here. Here it is right up here. Split. And now I have two screens open, and I can drag this if I wanted it to be over to June. And so see, I have two scroll bars. So this part here is working. Maybe I want to compare 2 years. Let's say, yes, this is a great way of looking at this. So on this screen now, here I have March 2015, and over here I have March 2014. So I can just look at these and compare, and that's why you would split your screen. Okay, and then you can also do it, this splits it horizontally, excuse me, vertically, and there is a place to do it. Let's see, I'm getting ahead of myself here. And there's, well, it says take this one over, way over here. Okay, well, I'm just showing you on this one here, and then I'll come back over to the other one and show you. There's the other one right there. So maybe I want to compare two people and that kind of thing. So when we split our screen, I'll unsplit it now so we can see to see it more readily. Okay, here's my split screen. Here's my scroll bar for this screen. Here's my scroll bar for this screen. Okay,